Have you ever catch yourself being too serious? Oh, it happens, doesn't it? You know, especially for us control dictators, hypersensitive, uber responsible folk. Hey, our pause today is to really loosen up, to cut ourselves some slack. You and I both know that over serious you will really melt enjoyment quicker than an ice cube in summer. When I look at my own inventory of the too serious me, I really shudder at how quickly my list fills up. Like being over concerned about misspeaking or failing in my time estimations. I mean, I hate to be late. Or finding I'm off budget or under resourced. That stuff drives me crazy. And then when it comes to DIY projects, I mean, my family almost has to set a perimeter. I get so focused and serious. Maybe you share a bit of my embarrassment about how seriously I take stuff. It happens, and it probably happens to you too. But maybe it's too often and too much. You know, if you have trouble knowing what's on your list, well, go ask your spouse. Go ask your kids or a coworker. You could ask your enemies, but they probably won't tell you. Why? Well, because maybe they've been driven off by your over-serious you. Let's pivot. Let's pivot away from these unachievable standards that we've set for ourselves, this serious self-criticism that's really never constructive. And let's pivot to some best practices like, you know, let's restart to enjoy life and God and let the small stuff go. Remember that old book title, Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, It's All Small Stuff? Why don't we keep putting that in practice? Or just to take serious Jesus' words when he says, don't be anxious, don't worry about your life, what you're going to put on or what you're going to eat. He was talking to the over-controllers amongst us, which I think affects all of us at certain times. Here's another best practice, and that's to understand that loosening up doesn't mean you have to take a part in Saturday Night Live. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that all of a sudden our personality becomes goofy or that we become silly. You know, here's a thought, and that's that, wacky comics and deadpan coworkers, well, they can become intense just like deadpan comics and wacky coworkers. Huh. I bet you've been around some of those. But, you know, here's another valuable insight, and that's just this too serious self. Really, the issue is really control, and who's in control? You know, there's ancient wisdom that says God directs the heart of the king like a water course, like a river, directing it where he will. Whoa. It's true for the king. It's true for all of us, right? He's in control. So I think this conversation about life seriousness, it also doesn't misplace or displace the no-nonsense side of you. Actually, the scriptures talk about being sober-minded. And I think that applies directly to sober-minded about being less serious. We take ourselves way too seriously. Knowing that there are some things we can control. There's some things that he will control. And if we can get those straight, wow, will it be easier to take ourselves less seriously? Hey, if this has caused you some pause and stirred some thoughts, hit that contact coach button and let's talk.